celebrate the King this morning? How many want to lift him up this morning? Come on. I want you to do this. Put your hands together. Put your hands together. How many know that you can prophesy by clapping your hands? So you know what you're doing right now? You're prophesying a jump noise. A jump noise. So we're going to celebrate him this morning. Just like the Lord said, we're going to open the portal so wide, nothing but the glory is going to come down today, y'all. Are you ready? I want you to say this with me. Say, celebrate. Say, celebrate. 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 Who's celebrating? Jesus. Say it with me. Celebrate Jesus. Celebrate Jesus. Celebrate Jesus. Celebrate Jesus. He's alive. He's alive. He's alive. Oh yeah. And we will celebrate. 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 This mouse is acting up again, everybody. But hey, look, we are here to celebrate Jesus.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, if things wasn't acting up, we aren't doing what we're supposed to be doing.
That's true.
Stuff always happens.
I don't know why this mouse is just acting crazy. But guys, that was when I was in Bend, Oregon, of course, with the Gathering Movement with Dennis and Delora O'Brien. And we did Sunday morning there at Eagle Mountain Church. And man, we had such a wonderful, wonderful time. So I just wanted to present a little bit of that, kind of get the blood flowing and get the juices up. And so, hey, welcome to Tea Time with Charlie and Sharon.
Absolutely.
We hope you guys are having a great weekend. Look, I always say this, and she always busts me.
I'm not going to be too long.
Yeah. We don't want to be too long because really today is a crazy, super busy day. This whole weekend, we having Little River's birthday party tomorrow.
Yeah.
And so and then we have football games.
Yeah, all day.
Yeah, all day. It's just one of those things again. So we won't be too long, but man, we got some good things to talk about. Man, we want to talk about our son. First and foremost, we want to talk about what God is doing in his life and what God is really doing within our family and upon our family. And we know that it's transcending to you, that you guys are really receiving testimonies.
Absolutely, absolutely. And this goes way back when our son, and we're going to have him on here because he's just an amazing speaker. If you guys are blessed by Charlie, you're really going to be blessed by our son too. He's just a head full of knowledge.
Oh, man, he's
that
an
makes
almanac.
sense. That makes sense.
Right.
Some people can be full of knowledge and makes no sense.
Right.
But he is really one of those people that really can bring biblical things and Roman times and just tie everything in together, and it just makes so much sense.
Right.
So the story, we're just going to tell a little bit about it because I really want him to come on. I think that'd be great for him to come on. And he did his first Bible study this week, so we were so excited and so blessed, and it was such an answer to prayer that Charlie and I have been praying about. Do you have one of the words?
Well,
here?
yeah, I was going to just recite the word again that was given to him, but I actually gave this testimony, part of the testimony on my last broadcast that I did. And like I said, I didn't want to give the whole testimony because it's Gerald's testimony.
Yes,
it really is.
We want him to come on here and share that,
right?
Because he'll have different perspectives than what we have about it. So we really do want him to come on.
But the beauty about this is that back on April 25th, 1995, this is what God said: about our son. And I remember that meeting, and you do too. He was over there in the corner, man. He was dancing and jumping and shouting and just having a great time. And how old do you think he was at that time?
What was it you said when?
It was in 95.
95.
So he was born in 87.
He had to have been like...
No, he wasn't born in 87.
14.
He was born in... When was our son born?
89, honey.
No, it was 87.
89?
No, it wasn't. It was 79.
I mean, oh my God. We're getting sons confused. Our middle son was born in 88.
And
our
Gerald was
oldest son
born in 1979.
79.
Lord have mercy. We don't even
You
know how
are
old the
getting
man
so
is.
old, boy.
But-
I never know anything about numbers, so it's normal for me. So,
But he was born
you-
in 79. And so that means in 95, that's 89, 10 years old. That's 99, 20 years old. How old was the dude, man? What was it?
15, 16.
Yeah, he was. So you guys put the numbers together because I surely can't.
He was a teenager.
Yeah. So he was a young teenager. But this is what the Lord said. I have made you a lion's habitation as well. For the Lord says, your spirit is coming alive tonight, and you are going to be one of those that stand on the front line, and you will dance, you will rap, and you will shout. You will prophesy, sing, and you will teach. And no one will be able to stand against you, for I am the Lord that has anointed you tonight. You are the one that I have chosen.
Yes.
You are the one that I have anointed. And King Saul will not be able to stand against you, for you will bring him down.
Yes.
For God says, you have the spirit of David upon you, and I have given you my power, saith the Lord.
Yes.
And that is so true about people cannot stand against him, because let me tell you something, you don't want to debate Gerald.
No.
You don't want to get into any type of debate, especially politically.
Yeah.
You just don't want to.
In fact, I'm that person that I want to get straight to the point. Gerald's a lot like his father, and they just plant that story, and you know exactly what went on in that story. You know how many leaves was on the bushes and everything.
Yeah.
I'm the one that want to go straight to the point, you know. And sometimes he would be explaining stuff to me, and I would be, okay, Gerald, I gotta go make dinner, honey. Okay, because that's a long story you're telling me here.
Yeah, it really is.
But he's very factual, and he knows what he's talking about.
Yeah, and so for us to witness him, okay, stepping into this word, you see, like we said, I don't want to tell everything, but being parents to this young man, we've seen him grow.
Yes.
And we see him go through the challenges that we all go through. Mm-hmm. And then we as parents, you know how we feel about our kids. We want the best for our kids.
Yes.
And we've seen how he struggled with just trying to identify, just trying to find what is Gerald Jordan all about.
Yep. And I mean, in high school, he was that friend that if you had him as a friend, you have him as a friend for life. But he didn't get involved. We always said he was a little old man. He never got involved in anything with the kids were doing, and drugs and alcohol and partying. Never did any of those things. Yeah. But also at the same time, it kind of put him in a little bit of a recluse. Yeah. And so he kind of kept himself. He read a lot. And sometimes when you don't have that fellowship with other people and interacting with a lot of people, you kind of get stagnant and you get depressed, and I can attest to that. You guys have heard my testimony. So he did go through a period of his life that he became very depressed, and he just didn't know what God had for him. And it makes so much sense to me now, Charlie, because when God has something very special for your life, that's when the enemy comes in, and he will throw everything. I'm not going to say they. He and his demons will throw everything at you to get that word that God has for your life, and they're calling over your life to disrupt that and destroy that. Right. And that's what he tried to do with our son. That's what he's tried to do to me. That's what he's tried to do to Charlie and our other children as well. So it's really fantastic what we're experiencing right now. It really is. It's amazing.
Because, he was a recluse. As a matter of fact, he never talked about girls. He never brought a girlfriend home when he was in high school. He just,
Well, he did have one girlfriend, and she just kind of backstabbed him, and he said, I'm done.
But see, I didn't even know about that. That's I didn't even know about that. But he was really a super recluse, but here's what's
Very
so beautiful.
intellectual, though. Yeah,
Here's what's so beautiful. When we stepped out, when God called us to advance and to move. You see, each time that Sharon and I, when we moved, when God told us to move, we did it. We were in obedience. And every time out of that obedience, okay, sacrifice came, but we conquered the sacrifice instantly. I mean, the sacrifice was truly beneath your feet. That's why it's so important to know and to obey God when he tells you to do something. And don't be walking in disobedience. Because let me tell you something, sacrifices are going to arise. That's something that is going to happen. We're always going to have sacrifices. The key and challenges. The key to victory over these sacrifices is obedience to what God has called you to, what God has directed you to, whatever it is that God has mandated, whatever it is that God has said to you, obey, step out. And that's what we did. And when we stepped out in 2014 in our hearts, when we said, look, boom, it's time to move. It was already in our hearts. Before we got that phone call from the prophet, when the prophet said, Charlie, I want you to fly back out. I know that you've been in California for a week or so, and you just got home and you want to spend time with your family. I had only been home less than 12 hours when I got that phone call, and he said, fly back out because God spoke to me. But in our hearts, we were already in agreement. And before that phone call, that's when our oldest son said, it's time for me to step out. It's time for me to be the man that God has called me to be. And the minute he did that, he got his own apartment, got his own, and he got everything. And then he found his Eve. He found his wife. Beautiful Chelsea, mute. I couldn't think of her.
Chelsea Jordan now.
Yes, Chelsea Jordan now. I couldn't think of her maiden name. But anyway, they are a match made in heaven.
And it's something we prayed for. Because if one part of that story, before we did move to California, I told God, and it was on my heart, and I know it was on Charlie's heart, I cannot leave this Texas without you taking care of my son. You have to show me what you're going to do. I want you to take care of him. I want him to be able to step into that next level. And that's just something that we've always done. Charlie did that when we went, when they were talking about going to Rhode Island. Charlie said, where would my children, what would happen with my kids in Rhode Island? We knew that wasn't the perfect will of God for our children. So a lot of it too is staying in order. And staying in order and not getting out of order. You can't not, if God gives you your family, that's your priority right there. God first and your family, not ministry first. God first, your family, then ministry. If you try to get those things out of order, you're always going to stumble and you're always going to have a long way or a long road to get back to where you're supposed to be. So we know for one thing that we've always kind of like we agree with each other, and when we don't agree with each other, we don't do the thing, whatever is before us. If it's buying a car, signing something on a house, whatever it is, if we are in total agreement about it, we pause and we don't do it. We take it to God and follow
every time that we did do it, and we were both, Sharon said, Charlie, I don't think you should do this. Yeah, but I feel very strong about it. Then so whenever I did it and whenever we did that, it was always a real bumpy road. Now you're gonna always hit bumpy roads. Of course. Walking with God anyway. But the ride across that bumpy road when you are in obedience and when you are in one accord, it's a lot smoother. In other words, you're going across a bumpy road, you're riding in a Bentley or a Rolls Royce when you are in obedience and in total one accord with each other. But if you're not, you're riding in that mobile that the Flintstones used to ride.
You go without me.
You're in that Flintstone. You're in that Flintstones bag of vehicle. But anyway, that's what we discovered. And so we are so blessed. And like I said, we want to give the whole testimony, but we want Gerald to come on here because Gerald would be able to express it and you would be totally blessed by it. But no, those of you that are listening to this right now, if you have a similar situation, come on, receive what we said right now. What Sharon just said about being in one accord is so important.
Absolutely.
Receive it, because then your victory will begin to be not only in front of you, you will see it, but it will begin to manifest, and it's going to encourage you. It's just like, guys, look what's happening in the world today. Look at all of the indoctrination that is taking place. And it looks like in the title, and the description of this video, I put, it looks like the enemy is winning, right? It looks like all of this stuff that's going on, all of the transgender stuff that they're trying to heap and push upon our children, all of this critical race theory that they are trying to push, trying to change history, trying to omit history. Remember, look at that word history and break it down. His story. It's his story.
Absolutely.
History is so important, everybody, because this world, this earth, this universe is his, and all of its fullness. Yes, someone would say, but Charlie, there's so much evil. Are you saying that God is part of the evil? No, God isn't evil, and he's not part of evil, but he gave us the mandate and the dominion on this planet, okay, to have dominion on this planet, okay? We have a free will. So man has orchestrated all of the things that have taken place, some of it good, some of it bad, right? Okay, but God is in the midst. He's there.
Absolutely.
So just let me tell you this, is that though it looks bad, everybody, God is in the mix. I want to share something that you shared with me.
Before you show that, too, one thing that we were talking about this the other day, and they want to rewrite history. They want to redo things. They want to change and omit things. But if you do that, that is not history. That's called an agenda. That's you're setting up your own agenda. You're setting up your own story. History is there to help us not make the same mistakes that we did in the past. We cannot look back and say, oh, look, that was what we did that way, and let's just erase that because it really didn't happen. Let's just write it a different way. No, you cannot do that. No. You learn from your past. You learn from his story, or like Charlie said, his story. You learn from that and you go forward. If you try to go back and write it, it's not you're gonna be like stagnant. You're not going to have the fullness what God has for you by trying to rewrite what has already been written.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Makes a lot of sense. Okay. And this is what I love. I want to share this because she shared this with me and it just really blessed me. So let's check this out, everybody.
This is awesome.
CRT. It's been around for a long time. It's been around since the 1970s. So it's nothing new to us. So what's the problem that we have with it? The 1619 Project was renamed CRT, and that's what people want to teach in our schools today. But as a black person, I look at CRT, and I see that as something that wants to victimize us again, that wants to make us look like we're oppressed, that we can't do anything, that we can't help ourselves. And that's wrong. I want to tell you right now, I'm not getting back on the plantation of dependence. And I'm hoping and I'm glad that this board is refusing that, refusing with this resolution to ban CRT. I'm glad that you're banning this. Malcolm X said that the worst enemy of the black race, and I believe that there's one race, human race. Yes. Malcolm X said that the biggest enemy at the time of the black race was the liberal, the progressive movement. This is just another attempt to keep us divided. And I like what these men said about us being united. I like what these men said about us being one, because that's the way we're going to win this battle, as one. If we keep dividing ourselves because we're white or black or brown or blah, 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 we're letting the enemy We're letting the enemy keep us weak. The Word of God says that we're not warring against flesh and blood. Those of you who are for CRT, you're not my enemy. Those of you who are against CRT, you're not their enemy. We are one. We have to stand together. We have to continue this conversation, understand where each of us are coming from, come to a conclusion. And my conclusion is, I'm against this because, hey, the plantation just isn't a good place to be.
That was absolutely outstanding.
Absolutely.
Just outstanding, everyone. And I love that he brought scripture into it because it is so true. We wrestle not with flesh and blood. Our fight is not with each other.
Exactly.
And then he said something else that was so beautiful. You know, I'm sick of black and white. I'm sick of all of this racism and the word race. We are of one race, and it's called the human race.
Absolutely.
You know?
And we took a stance on that years ago, and we get a lot of criticism from a lot of people, but Charlie and I, you look at our skin, and our skin color is black. But you know what? I'm an American first. I am a Black American, and I stand on that. I am not an African American. I was raised here. I was born here. I am an American. And if anyone has any issues with that, that's your problem. But this is how I choose to believe that I am of a human race. I'm an American, and just because my skin is dark, I'm still an American, a Black American. I think all these labels and all these things that we try to put on us, it just makes us more divided. Why can't, like you said, and like this young man said, why can't we just be the human race? When you cut my skin, it's red.
Come on.
If I cut your skin, it's going to be red. It's the same. You have a heart. You can't function without your brain. There's so much that we have similar. So the outside of your skin is just a different flavor. It has nothing to do with what's on the inside of you and what God has made us to be. We're all the same.
That's right.
Okay?
We're all the same. And I'm trying to pull up this one video, but I'm not able to pull it up for some reason. It's just not coming up. I was going to play this child that was worshiping, and it's not coming up for some reason. They've changed things here on FB, and it's just not coming up how I want it. I'm not finding. Let me see. Maybe
they're doing a lot of little stumbling blocks here that because I told you I'm trying to post things, and it's always we can't post this. Well, we're being shadow banned, and that's okay because that means we're doing something right.
That we're doing something right. Check this out. Here's another reason why we know that the enemy is not winning. I don't care what they're trying to say. I don't care what they're trying to push up on our kids. I don't care that they are still trying to implement death, still trying to commit that which is called Baal worship. But God, like he's prophesied through me, and I'm going to continue to proclaim this. Guys, get ready for a move of God that is coming upon our children, upon our toddlers, upon the little ones, upon our teenagers, like we've never seen before. It's going to be something that's going to shake this earth, this entire planet. It's going to be shaken by this generation. Listen to this little girl. Just look at this. Look at her worshiping. Look at that. And I'm going to play it again.
Pure.
This is a baby.
That's awesome.
Okay? Now, can you see why the devil is so afraid of this generation? Why he has picked this generation to to really totally destroy. That's the reason why they got so much coming against them. They got all of this garbage that's coming against them. The suicide rate in 2020 was so high, and not one media outlet really focused on the suicide rate that took place because of what took place in 2020. But God says, vengeance is mine, saith the Lord.
Absolutely. And we were talking about how they attacked the kids and kept them out of school and set our children 2 years back just because they decided that was the best thing to do, when that virus that was made over in China did not affect the children. It was not affecting them. So why were our children taken out of school and put back and set back just because of some teachers who didn't want to teach and didn't want to come into that atmosphere and teach and guide our children? It did real harm to our children. But I tell you what, God is going to make up for it, and he's going to propel our children into the future. And I'm telling you, all you people that are sitting on the sidelines, all you old fogies, and I'm going to call you that because I'm old too, but all you old religious fogies, you know what? Your time is short. And I'm going to tell you right now, you better get right with God, because we've got a generations coming out right now. And if you don't get right with God, they are right there to take over. And it's going to be powerful. Yep. And it's going to be amazing. These children, I'm telling you, these children are unbelievable. And they can lay hands on me any day of the week. Yep. I will take that over anybody that's been in the word for years. I will take that little precious child laying on hands on me and praying for me any day of the week, because I know there's no agenda and I know they're pure.
Yes. Amen.
And I don't know why I went on that tangent.
Yeah, you did. You did. Look what the media is not reporting about what's going on in Chi-Town. We hear about all the otherness, and it is. It's crazy what's going on in Chicago. But this is also happening. Look, guys, be encouraged. Look at this. Come on.
Beautiful, beautiful.
I'm turning the music down. It's probably too late because Facebook would try to shut me down saying I'm playing something that is not, I don't have the copyright to. And I don't. But that's okay. Look what God is doing, everybody.
Absolutely.
That is what's happening in Chicago and around this country.
And you know what? We don't need the media.
Yeah.
We don't need the media. We are going to be the media. We are going to spread the word. We're going to spread the gospel. We're going to do whatever we can. And we want people to just do what we're doing too. There's nothing big special about us. The only thing that's special about us is God that's in us. And we are going to spread the word. And we'll use whatever platform we need to use, because we don't need to hear what the world says. We don't need to hear what the news says. We know what we're going to be doing. We know what God has said because we've got the word. We already got a word map.
Right.
We already know what God says. We've got, Charlie and I have so many prophecies here that's come to pass. And I'm so excited. I don't know why I'm so on fire. I'm so excited for our children, because our children right now are walking into what God said they would walk into 20 years ago. Right. And we stood fast on that, and we prayed over it, and we covered our children. And I know when the enemy starts coming, because me and Charlie had a little bit of thing a couple of weeks ago. And when the enemy comes against us, we know we're doing something right. And we know we got to correct that thing. And we know we have to stay focused on what God has, and what God's doing with these babies right now. And so you guys take this, take it for your family, take it for your friends, take it for your neighborhood. Do whatever you want to do with it. But take this. It's not just for me and Charlie. It is for you as well.
I'm loving this, y'all. She's stepping into it. I'm telling you, I'm loving it. It is so true. It's so true. Now, honey, today when I was praying, or earlier when I was praying, I take my walk.
Yeah.
And so I'm walking.
Over our neighborhood.
Yeah. And so I'm walking the neighborhood, and I passed by these two ladies, and I passed by everybody, and I speak, and I speak with, hi, how you doing? I hope you're having a great day. And I passed by these two ladies. One lady said hi. The other lady looked at me and kind of like, did something like that. And I was like, wow, wow. And then it made me think of another video that you sent to me about seeing. You see, this is what we in the church, this is what we have to do. We can't look with the eyes of observation the way the world looks with the eyes of observation. Because, see, the world only sees what is on the outside. I don't know what it was about me that made her look at me that way and respond to me that way. I could say maybe it was the color of my skin. Doesn't matter. The point of the matter is this is what we have to do, y'all.
Yeah.
We have to have perception. We have to be able to see. And so I'm going to play this video. It's about 3 minutes long. I'm not going to play the whole thing, but this is really going to touch you. This is showing babies. And the reason why I'm using children, because, see, in the word, out of the book of Psalms, it says that out of the mouth of babes comes ordained or perfected praise.
Yes.
It comes something that is ordained, which is what is it that we are ordained to do? Walk in love. And we have to be able to see. The Bible says also that my people perish for lack of knowledge. Well, that word in Hebrew there actually means lack of perception. You perish because you can't see what God sees. We need to begin to see. When you see this video, this is absolutely
So
amazing.
precious.
Seeing these children that are seeing, these babies that are seeing for the first time, look at their expression. If we can walk with the perception of the precept of God, it doesn't matter what a person looks like.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what a person sounds like. It doesn't matter what a person has done, because now we're seeing through the eyes of the Father, which is the eyes of total love. I want you to see this.
So beautiful.
Hi, honey.
Oh, smile.
Hi, lovey. Honey. Sweetie.
Smile.
Look at that.
Hi, sweetheart. Okay.
Watch this one.
Okay. All right. Yay. Let's see. Let's put these all the way down first. Yeah. Look. Oh my gosh, it's so big. Hey. Hey there. Hey. Yay. She's in shock. Hi. Hi. And still look at Mama. Look at Mama. Look. Yay. Here's Mama.
That precious.
She's in shock for sure. Hi. Hi. Hi, buddy.
Oh, look at that.
Do you see me better? Do you like them? Do you like your glasses?
Take that as a yes.
Do you like them? What do you think? What do you think? Yummy, yummy. Whoa.
Look at that joy.
Thank you. What do you think? Who's that? Finley. Say hi.
Look at that. The different expressions.
Very weird. Her eyes just lit up.
What do you think? Hi.
They need to be adjusted a little bit.
A little bit, but we can adjust them.
Hi, Marlon.
Hi.
That is just so touching.
Cry.
Wow, so beautiful. Absolutely so beautiful. And you know what? See, here's what's beautiful. The children could see, they just couldn't see very clearly. And that's the reason why I wanted to play this. Because see, we look through a glass darkly. We don't see it. We can't see everything. That's why we need to align our sight or our precept with God's
Yes.
perception.
Absolutely.
And then when we do that, then we will see what it is that he has already commissioned,
Absolutely.
already mandated, and anointed and called you to
Yes.
see.
Yes.
And you will begin to see things the way God sees it. You can't help but smile and have joy. That's why I wanted to
Yeah.
to play that.
Yeah, and that lady that you came across in your walk, you know, we come across people like that all the time, and the first thing your earthly mind want to say, well, who does she think she is? But now Charlie and I have a different perspective of that.
Right.
Because I said, where is that person hurting?
Yeah.
Why can't that person smile? So what we do now is we just pray for that person.
Right.
And if God leads us to go up to that person, we do.
Right.
But you don't have to go up to that person. You can pray for that person from afar. You can lift that person up from afar. But if you have an opportunity and God opens that door, absolutely
step through.
walk through that door.
Walk through that door, because that's
Absolutely.
exactly what I did. I prayed for that lady.
Absolutely.
I pray for that lady to have sight. I pray for that lady to whatever it is that's bugging her.
Yeah.
I prayed and I came
Yeah.
against it, and I said that be removed from her.
Yeah.
And so that's why I wanted to play that. So hey, look, I promised we wouldn't go long. I got my timer here. We had 37 minutes, but that's okay. Not too long, not too long, because we got to get going anyway. But anyway, I want to end with this promo video. I'm going to be in Houston next weekend. We're going to be
We
there.
are going to
Yeah.
be in Houston next
Yeah, we're going to be there next weekend, May 5th and 6th, Cinco de Mayo. As a matter of fact, when I was praying earlier, I started thinking about that song that the Lord gave Kim and I when we were in the Detroit area, in Windsor, Canada, as a matter of fact, when it says, I'm somewhere in the future, and I look much better than I look right now. And, when I pray, I like to have a good time with God. So I was having a good time with him, and I started thinking about different ethnic groups, okay? How they were said. Kim actually delved into this a little bit. He said, this is how the Italians were said. I'm somewhere in the future, and I look much better than I look right now. That's what he used to say. and then so I started flowing with it. I said, yeah, God, I can see the brothers and the sisters really getting into it. I'm somewhere in the future. Yo, what's up? You know what's up. We got it. We got it. I know what I look like in the future. See, so what's up? But then I came up with this. My Hispanic peeps, my Hispanic brothers and sisters, this is how they would say it. Cinco, cinco, cinco. I'm somewhere in the future. Cinco, cinco, cinco. I'm somewhere in the future. And then cinco, cinco, cinco. 555. I'm somewhere in the future, and I'm alive.
Oh, that's nice.
That's what I came up with. Cinco, 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 555. I'm somewhere in the future, and I'm alive.
Oh, that's
so
awesome.
that is for my Hispanic peeps. Okay, Cinco de Mayo is coming up next weekend, so I'm gonna be there, or we're gonna be there next weekend, and I want everyone to come. You have to register for this event, because God is truly going to transform. He's going to anoint you. He's going to do something very powerful in your life. Here's the promo. So remember, that's next weekend, okay? In Houston, Texas. The information is in the descriptions. Just click on the link, gloryinamerica.com or gloryinamerica.org, and then it will show you and direct you on how to register. You can register to be there live, or you can register to view it online. So, and it's going to be streamed. So anyway.
And this is the same, the people that you also said the guy prophesied about me.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
So stay tuned to this, because I think on Monday we're doing a broadcast. Is it on Monday?
Actually, that's interesting, because I'm going to be interviewing Donna Rigney. She's going to be on our program on Monday. Okay. Donna Rigney. So that's going to be powerful.
So and there was a powerful word, and Charlie didn't know that I had started, and I'll tell you more about it on Monday, but Charlie didn't know that I had set in my mind that I was going to get off all of my medication that I've been on, and I started weaning myself off of it. And then he came and told me this powerful word that was given about somebody that has medicine next to her bedside, and the pharmacy's not even a mile away, which is 100% my story.
Yeah.
But long story short, I'm off my medication.
Yep, she's off medication.
We'll talk more about that.
God is moving, everybody.
Absolutely.
So hey, we love you guys. We want you guys to share this. And if this meeting, this ministry, this word that have come forth today, if it's really ministered to you, there's information to how you can sow into our ministry. It's fertile ground, because God called us, God anointed us, and we have been positioned to do a mighty work for God upon this earth with you. Okay? So we love you guys. Share this. Know that you are truly somewhere in the future. Okay? And you look good. And when Jesus is in effect, Jesus is truly by our side. We put that devil in check. See you next week. Peace.